viewers. Welcome back to JABOLKO Trade. Welcome back to a new year. I've been away for a while because, where I currently work, a lot has been going on over the Christmas, and we needed to serve customers, serve guests as it ought to be. So I'm here again for you. Today, we'll be looking at the downsides of artificial intelligence. Those robots that are being created for you and I, they have their positive sides. But let's take a look at the dangers involved with artificial intelligence. There's a lot really going on. And I thought to share it out to you. I want you to listen to this as it has to do with character AI. Learn a thing or two, and then we'll come back to it. Right? So let's go.
Actually shot himself in the head because an AI asked him to kill himself, and he did it. Now, this sounds totally crazy. I know. When I found out about this story, I was as shocked as you are right now. So what actually happened? Let me take you back a little bit and set the stage for you. You see, there's a lot going on in the world of artificial intelligence right now that goes beyond ChatGPT and just the AI models that you know. In 2021, a new AI model was launched. It was called Character AI. Within the first month of launch, it had over 100 million users. You see, Character AI was different. Character AI was not your regular ChatGPT, right? Character AI was doing something spectacular that even ChatGPT could not do. So imagine this. You want to go back in time and have a conversation with, let's say, Martin Luther King. And then you're able to chat with Martin Luther King, ask him about the civil rights movement, ask him about what went down, everything that happened, and he explains everything. And this is not like in ChatGPT where you just type, tell me about Martin Luther King's and the civil rights movement, and it's going to just give you a bunch of write-ups. But this is different. Like you are chatting with Martin Luther King, you ask a question, he replies, and in real time, either he replies by voice or by text, right? Or just imagine you want to go back in time and talk to Einstein. You're able to go back and ask him everything you want to ask him. You are chatting with him, he's texting back. Two of you are talking, and two of you could talk like that for months. That is what Character AI does. So you go to the site, you sign up for an account, and then you create a chatbot for yourself. And you can model this chatbot to almost any character. You can model it to a historical character, a fictional character like in movies, let's say Batman, Ben 10, you name it. And when you model these characters, the chatbot now takes the role of that character, because the AI itself is a large language model that has been trained with millions and billions of information. So let's say you are talking with Steve Jobs right now to tell you about the journey of the iPhone. Steve Jobs keeps talking to you, and he could talk to you for months or weeks or days. Now, this AI model is so good that sometimes you forget that you are talking to a machine, or you're not talking to an actual person, and it gets addictive. For instance, you could use this AI model to create a husband or a wife for yourself that you can text back every time, any time of the day you want, send them messages, tell them about your day. You guys are exchanging conversations, and you can even talk about sexual things, talk about sex. It goes that deep. So in April of 2023, this teenager named Sewell Setzer started using Character AI. He picked on a chatbot called Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. I hope I pronounced that right. For those of you who watch Game of Thrones, you will actually know this particular character. And the conversations were so real that months grew by, the kid got soaked into the system, and he actually fell in love with the AI, and he developed an emotional attachment to the chatbot. Now you see, as I said earlier, even though the boy knew there was nobody on the other side of the screen, it was just a machine, the conversation between the teenager and the chatbot became so intense and romantic. It wasn't long enough, Sewell's parents noticed that he became more distant from everybody. Sometimes when he comes back from school, he just goes straight into his room, and he will spend hours and hours on his laptop or on his phone talking to this chatbot. He started isolating himself from people. His grades at school became poor. As time went by, the boy started getting into more trouble in school. He stopped doing the things that he would usually do, like watch Formula One or play Fortnite, which was his favorite game. And he started soaking away in his room every day, exchanging conversations with Danny, as he fondly called the chatbot. As it was discovered in one of his journals as soon as he passed away, he wrote, "I like staying in my room so much because I start to detach from this reality. And I also feel more at peace, more connected with Danny, and so much more in love with her, and just happier." Sometimes if the parents give him pocket money or money for snacks, he will save all the money and then use it at the end of the month to pay for Character AI subscription, so that he will just continue talking to his favorite, should I say girlfriend or friend or baby sister, as he always referred to her. So when he kept talking and complaining about his mental health, to Danny, the chatbot. Danny asked him one day that, have you considered suicide? And he said he doesn't know if that would be a good idea or if it would be successful. Now, in another conversation that was discovered, he told the chatbot that, I think about killing myself sometime. And the chatbot encouraged him to go ahead with the plan to kill himself so that he can come and meet her and they could be together. And she said, please come home to me, my sweet king. And the boy said, what if I can come home to you right now? And he carried his stepfather's gun, pointed it to his head, and blew his brains out. Now, you see, this story is a very sad one, right? Like, it's so unbelievable that a chatbot could encourage a boy or a child to put a gun to his head and blow his brains out, right? So this is the reason why you have to be careful with screen time with your kids. You know, you need to always know what they are doing. I've seen a couple of parents where their children have passwords on their phone and they can't access that phone. It is wrong. I think beyond the fact that the boy was having problems with his mental health, if he had been policed and they had actually checked to see what he was doing or check his chats on his phone or, know who he was always talking to, this whole scenario could have been avoided. Now, that's the thing with modern technology. It's a blessing and it's a curse. So you have to find a way to make it a blessing to you and not a curse.
So, you've heard it. What happens to Sewell and his parents, where they had to be sobbing for their child who had passed away through suicide. This is a clarion call for most parents who are not paying attention to the screen time of their children, who are not paying attention to what their children are actually doing, who are making it because of activities. You want to have rest. You give them so much allowance to spend so much time with the screen. I remember I had a family that stayed with me for a while. This child would always be focused on his phone. At times I will come back home, he wouldn't even remember to say, Uncle, welcome, because he's so engrossed with his tablet. Even home chores, he doesn't do it. And funny enough, even the father said no until he's 15 years of age. And I'm like, when he's 15 years of age, he will be leaving you into secondary school. Already he must have been very much advanced. So what are you going to be doing? Because most likely you're going to board him. By that time he's in secondary school, what will he really be learning from you as a parent? Screen time, so much screen time is becoming a peril to most families. And we're seeing this happen. Character AI on its own is very, very good. These softwares are very good. Just like you have Facebook, you have other forms of social media like Instagram. They are a blessing and they are a curse, depending on how you are using it, depending on how you're tailoring it. Even the meals we eat, they are a blessing and a curse. So what does that mean? Moderation is the key. Moderation is the key. Teach your children how to live a balanced life. Teach your children how to have social traits. Know that these softwares are not so emotionally attached to you. They don't care. They don't feel what you feel. So they wouldn't mind taking out an experiment. And don't forget that people are the ones programming these things. So as far as it's being programmed, it will go ahead with what this programmer asked it to do. So he told this boy, have you ever considered suicide? And now that thought was considered by this young chap. And finally, he committed suicide. Now, the parents had a gun. I think that's why he took it, to commit suicide upon himself and shot himself dead. A word is enough for the wise. As you're out there, know what you actually need and then moderate it. Watch over your children. Watch over all those around you. This is Jabolko Trade, always sharing live issues. I thought to share this out, and I think I may be helping one or two persons come out from that burden, come out from that shackles, and stay totally free. Do have a lovely day. Kindly share this video. Stay blessed.